Welcome to GLHF videos. Today I bring you 10 games that are criminally underrated. Just before we begin the video, make sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and write in the comments what is the most underrated game in your opinion. Starting with the first pick of the list, The Perfect Tower 2. This is one of the most underrated and unknown game in my opinion, combining several genres to create one of the most fun gameplay loops in my opinion. In The Perfect Tower 2, you start out with a weakling tower trying to fight off waves of enemies as you would in a typical tower defense game. Killing the enemies grants you XP, which can level up your modules while you're in the fight, and also resources that can be used in your town outside of the matches to get better and better. With every resource you get, you can build several facilities in your town that will unlock more powerful modules for your tower, increase the stats for your tower, help you generate resources passively, and many more deep mechanics that are just too complex and too much to go over in a 1-minute segment about the game. I suggest that you just jump into the game and play it. You'll understand what I'm talking about instantly. The game is web-based and can also be downloaded on Steam. The second pick for this list is Wrestling Empire, a surreal take on the wrestling world, a great sandbox game, and a simulation where you take over a wrestler's life and manage every aspect of it. It allows you to engage with every member of the roster, simulate the whole process, or go into every detail of your career and choose what you eat, when you sleep, and even attack wrestlers backstage. Make sure that you go to the bathroom though, because it could create some unhappy accidents. Don't ask me how I know that. The combat and gameplay is a little bit janky, reversals are random and you can't time it like a usual wrestling game, but there's really no limit as to where you can take your experience. The game is very customizable and you can really go nuts with it. The game is available on Steam, PC, Android and iOS. The third pick for this list is FIFA Street 3. They really don't make games as fun as FIFA Street anymore. I don't think there's anything close to it today when it comes to arcade soccer games. A typical match would take 5 minutes and your obvious goal is to score more goals than your opponent when the time is up. It's not easy to score goals in this game, so what you had to do was to rack up as many trick points as you can get from doing skills and tricks. Each trick would fill up the special ability bar, and a shot on target would solidify that bar so you won't lose the points you gather. Once it's full, you can trigger a sort of rampage where almost any shot you'll take would go in easily. I remember playing the demo version on the PS3 locally, which was very fun at the time without even purchasing the game. It's a great game to play locally with friends if you're tired of the old regular FIFA. For some reason EA ditched the game and tried to create a spiritual successor called Volta that is available as a mod in the regular FIFA games, but it doesn't have the same vibe or flow. The reason I specifically picked FIFA Street 3 is because FIFA Street 4 is not as fun and it's closer to Volta, so I don't like it as much and I won't recommend it. Sadly, FIFA Street 3 is not a game that is available on PC. You can only play it on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but you can also download an emulator on PC and play the game if you have the physical copy and you can extract the file from it, or sail through the high seas and download it illegally somewhere online. Speaking of the high seas and piracy, the fourth pick on the list is Puzzle Pirates. The game was originally created back in 2003 and it sometimes shows, but the gameplay is super fun and chill. You either work in a job or go on voyages pillaging against other vessels trying to steal their loot. And all of that is simulated by puzzle minigames. As you gain more and more loot and earn more money in the game, you can buy your own vessel, a better home, pets, or a store where you can sell ships, clothes, swords, etc. and anything else you would think of in a social MMO game from that time with a free trading economy. The game is underrated because of the chill gameplay it provides, but it also has very deep mechanics and challenging endgame content that you can engage with. If you want to know more about the game, I actually made a very comprehensive video going over the game and where it is now. You can click on the screen if you want to jump to it and see why I love this game. The fifth pick for this list is Old School RuneScape. Old School RuneScape to the unfamiliar eye looks like an old idle click-to-play game with terrible graphics, but I would say that it's only 10% true. Yes, you can play the game very AFK by clicking somewhere in the screen every minute or so, but the game has a very deep endgame and loads of difficult content that is anything but point and click. In fact, the game has many deep mechanics and movements that would take you a lot of time to master, and like other titles in this list, a minute segment won't do it any justice. But lucky for you, I made a more detailed breakdown of the game and you can click on the screen right now if you want to see it. It would really show you what you're missing out on. Old School RuneScape is available on PC, Linux, Mac, iOS and Android. Before we continue, if you stayed with me until now, please drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new so you won't miss out on new videos. The 6th pick for the list is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. As the original hype from Call of Duty died down and it was dethroned by the likes of Minecraft and League of Legends, Black Ops 2 was at the tail end of that pick before things really went down. Starting with the Zombies mode, which is an easy one because it's one of the most fun co-op modes in gaming's history. In Black Ops 2 it's no different. Yes, the core 3 maps are meh, but the DLC maps are really good. The multiplayer mode for the game was very well balanced and fun to play. It was just before they were making kill streaks super hard to get and very weak. The best thing about this game though, and it makes it a complete package, is the very well done story mode. The story mode branches out based on your results in certain missions and the decision you make along the game. There are many combinations of choices and results that give several different endings to the game, and it changes the outcome completely. The 7th pick for this list is Perfect Ice 2. The game features a cops and robbers scenario where the robbers need to generate or steal enough money to win and the cops need to get rid of them. The game lets you customize the lobby really well, so you can choose to limit the lives you get as the robber or as the cops. You can choose from several kits and accessories in the game, which leads to some very creative ways to rob the bank or stop the robbery. In my opinion, it's one of the best games to play with your friends online, and every game leads to a very fun, challenging and funny situations. The 8th pick for this list is Operation 7. This is a really weird pick for me because it might have been more well suited as an honorable mention, seeing as it's a very old game and for some reason it's only playable now in Latin America. I spent 2 hours today trying to get into the game, but to no avail. The reason I want to put the game on the list though is because back in the day around 2008, this free-to-play FPS game had very cool features that you can only see fragments of 15 years later. On top of having fun, decent gunplay and good character customization, the game lets you pick every single part of the weapon when you build it and give each part its own unique paint job and stats. The game obviously aged very badly, but to this day I don't think there's a game that lets you pick every single part of a weapon and paint it as you want. You can maybe get close to it in more realistic games like Tarkov or add a bunch of different attachments in games like Call of Duty's Gunsmith, but it's not even close to the full feature you had in this free-to-play FPS game back in 2008. For the 9th pick on this list, I chose Paradise Burnout. It's rare to find arcade racing games today that are so much fun like Paradise Burnout. The basic premise of the game is to race or complete challenges where you outrun cars that are trying to wreck you, chase and wreck other cars, get the highest stunt score you can, or get into serious wrecks where you cost the city as much money as you can. Every several challenges you complete, a new car drives into town. You have to randomly run into it as you free roam and destroy it so it would land in the junkyard. Once it's in the junkyard, you can take it, repair it and drive it for yourself. The element of surprise and anticipation where you can get a new car every 4 or 5 races that you have to chase really replicated the fun I had when I played Sega Rally 2. Sega Rally 2 was a really fun arcade racing game where at the end of every season, you need to beat a unique car to acquire it. Burnout Paradise had been remastered a while ago and is available with the basic EA Play subscription the last time I checked. The 10th and final pick for me to close this list is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. The gameplay might be a little bit too simple and sometimes clunky. The graphics didn't age really well, but if you're a wrestling fan, this game lets you have a crazy branching career where every choice matters. You can fight in the lowest parts of the card and challenge for the lesser titles, or challenge for the war titles. You can win or lose at every match and as a result end in many different paths in the career. Unlike the more recent titles where they're super on rails and you can either win or restart the game once you lost it because the story is predetermined with very little deviations. Like I said, if you can stomach the terrible graphics and get used to the mediocre controls and gameplay, you will experience one of the best and most comprehensive single player modes in gaming's history. This is our list for 10 games that are criminally underrated. Make sure to like the video and tell everyone in the comments what in your opinion is the most underrated game. Thank you guys for watching, good luck and have fun.